snappy intro this time. No jokes. No messing around. 3 has become 2 on first time ball due to unprecedented demand from Liverpool supporters. Adam, the deluded Chelsea fan, has been kicked off the show. He's gone forever. Fuck that guy. We never want to see him again. No, I'm only joking. Adam is not here this week, though, however, due to work commitments and shit like that. So it's just me and Shane. Hello, Shane.
All right, Owen. How's things?
Yeah, not too bad. It's feels weird. Not gonna lie to you.
It does. We're missing a voice here. So we are, and someone to give out. Adam's good at giving out.
He is. Yeah, we're gonna have to make up for it, I think.
Yeah.
We didn't do an episode.
Slander coming from me.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't do an episode last week. Again, just we have other commitments. Believe it or not, this is not our full-time jobs. Would you imagine that? I know we're unreal at it. Like we're very, very polished, and we put out a good product. We don't get paid to do this. We just do it for the crack. Look, it worked out in the end. There's lots to talk about, though. That means because we have 2 weeks of big news and shit coming up. Some sackings going on in managerial stuff. Some big name, sort of big name players being bandied about. The transfer rumor mill is in full swing. Finally, there's some mad ones out there this week. We're going to take a look at the current state of the Premier League. Maybe not. Maybe the Premier League title race is back on. Maybe I have to eat my own words from a couple of episodes ago when I said it was turning into a fucking Farmers League. You never know. I will take a quick look at AFCON because that's on at the moment. And we'll have a word. So, what do you reckon then? The Premier League title race, is it back on?
No. No, I don't think so. I think there will. Like, it's funny that we went from City ruining the league to have been a boring league to City drawing one game and that's it. The title race is back on. I think that's how good City are. Is that a simple draw and it's giving everybody hope. Like, whoa, maybe I think, but no, I don't. I think Liverpool are like that starting 11. Liverpool could push City, I think. But I just don't like. They have to beat City in that game, in that 6-pointer, and that'll bring it to what.
So I think the reason people are looking at it now all of a sudden going, well, hang on now, maybe, is because Liverpool have a game in hand, which I'm pretty sure is against Leeds. Now, they haven't said yet when any of these postponed games are being played, but we should beat Leeds. We won't now that I've said that. And then if we beat City at the Etihad, the gap is 3 points. And whatever about City dropping 8 or 10 points between now and the end of the season, they might drop 3. Like, realistically, they could lose a game. They'll have to lose 2 games because we have to beat them. Like, do you know what I mean? When it comes down to like the Manchester Derby or like other games like that, it's not unforeseeable that they could drop it. But it's too early to say that a title race is back on now. Yeah. The gap is still 9 points, like at the minute, and there's no guarantees that Liverpool. There's definitely no guarantee that we'll beat City at the Etihad. Like, I think we could. No. We're probably good enough. We have a team that we could do it, but like.
I think if anybody's capable of going to the Etihad and winning against City, it is Liverpool. To be honest, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit. It's still like it's a big ask. They're still an unbelievable team. Like, and they're gonna just keep getting better. I think. Fair fucks to Southampton though. To be fair to them. I think what it just proves that like if a team actually goes out and tries to play against City, they could get something off them. Like, it's not a case of just it's a guaranteed walkover every week. Until you let it be that. It's interesting though. I was actually thinking about this earlier. All these, like, because so many clubs are all on different numbers of games played at the minute. Looking at, like, say, the race for top 4. So there's what? Is it 8 or 9 points? Chelsea are ahead of United in 4th at the minute. I think it's 9
United
points.
Have 2. I think it's 2 games in hand on Chelsea. So if we win them 2 games. It's 3 points, I think, or even actually, I'm just going to look it up. But I think it's 3 points because that would have been less if they had have drawn against Spurs. I was kind of looking for a draw in that game. I think it's 3 points. Yeah, if we win our 2 games in hand. But the thing is, Liverpool's game in hands, United's game in hands are 2 different things. Like Liverpool, you'd fancy them winning their game in hands. I think anyone with top 4. But I think that is beneficial to top 4 because it's so tight now between Chelsea. Like, Chelsea are falling into a top 4 race. They have. I don't care. Like, Chelsea fans can be pissed off. It's top 4 race.
It all comes down to what the other teams do with their game in hand. Because at the minute, like Chelsea are only a point behind Liverpool. So if we're sitting here, if we can sit here and say, but the difference is Chelsea have played all their games. So it comes down to Spurs have, I think, 4 games in hand on Chelsea, right? They're
crazy.
They're like 9 points behind them or something along those lines, maybe. It could be 10. But the interesting thing, I think, is when they're going to play these games. I was thinking about it earlier, like, it could come down to a mad situation where we hit, like, May, and the likes of City and Chelsea, who have played all their games, are finished their season, and then the Premier League just goes, right, the rest of you now have, like, 3 weeks to play the games you missed. So Chelsea finish, they're in 4th. If Spurs stay within, like, 8 or 9 points of them, then suddenly it's like, right, you have 4 games. If you win, if you get 10 points from these 4 games, you're in the top 4. You finish above Chelsea. Like, it could be. I think that'd be great crack, to be honest. To just have like a little mini free for all at the end of the season, and City and Chelsea just go, see you lads, we're off.
I hope they do them dirty. I hope they do Spurs dirty like they did United last year. They will. They won't have it like that. They won't have it in any way that'll become to this. They will throw them games in 3 days. They will come to now, let's say, a 10-day period where they'll have 3 games. And they'll absolutely do them dirty, like, because that's what's going to happen. It's the Premier League.
Yeah, they will 100%. They'll have them. Spurs will be playing like a shitty midweek fixture. They'll probably have Spurs in. I was going to say Spurs in the Europa League or anything. They're not, are they? I don't know what they're doing.
They got knocked out with that Conference League, didn't they?
Yeah. But it'll end. Spurs will they'll just throw them in the middle of the week whenever Spurs and whoever they have to play have a free day, and Spurs will end up having like a month where they play like 12 games or something ridiculous, because that's the Premier League.
And it's not normal. It's not normal game in hand either. Like, generally when you have game in hands, you're kind of confident enough, but 4, that's ridiculous. Like, that they won't win 4 of them games. They won't. Like, they'll be pushed on them too much. You know, before you'd be like, oh, in the way it is, like, them games in hand, the way they've added up, like, that's just
it's gone mad. I was reading there today that the Premier League has changed their COVID postponement rules now. So if a team requests a game to be postponed, they have to have a minimum of 4 confirmed cases in the first team, rather than like 1 or 2 or in the staff or something. It has to be 4 first team players minimum before the Premier League would consider.
Rightly so, though. Arsenal abused that to death there against that Spurs game a couple weeks back. They had injuries and stuff.
Man, I was doing something laughing at that, right? Because when Liverpool got the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final against Arsenal postponed, right? And then it came out afterwards that it was because we had a lot of, I think it was like 8 or 9 false positives or something, which obviously like we didn't know. But then there was these conspiracies theories, like Arsenal fans were going mad saying that, oh, like Liverpool have like conned the Premier League or conned the FA, and they're cheating and hacking and all this. Made no sense, because actually postponing that game made the situation worse for us, because we ended up having more games to play. But and then the Arsenal get a game called off for like 1 COVID case or something, the exact like right after the the second leg or whatever it was against, like, and it was a North London derby that got called off as well. So it was like, just fucking shut your mouths, Arsenal, please. We don't want to hear from you anymore. It's it. I think what it has done is all people having all these games in hand. Number one, I think it's made it really hard to look at the table and actually talk about where a team is, because we look at Spurs and you go, right, so they're 6th, which is, you know, it's not a fantastic season. But if they win their 4 games in hand, suddenly they're 3rd in the table. Like, you look at the bottom of the table, they've all played different numbers of games as well. Newcastle play Everton. I think it's coming up next in the next couple of games after the break or something. Newcastle beat Everton. Everton only a point ahead of Newcastle, but Everton have a game in hand. So it's mad to look at, like. But I think if Newcastle beat Everton, Everton are definitely in a relegation battle. They're close to it at the minute. Like,
they're in it now. To be honest,
I think once
free fall, like,
they lose to Newcastle, they're dragged right down into the shit with the rest of them, like, which is fucking class.
Who did it bring in?
Everton. Who would want to go there, man? The club is in a shambles at the minute. Like, if Carlo Ancelotti and Rafa Benitez couldn't sort out the team in there, like, it's just that Moshiri is just fucking made shit of the place, really. So I don't know.
And how was it from a Liverpool standpoint for that?
Huh?
For you watching, what's it like from a Liverpool standpoint watching Rafa? And I don't want to put it on Rafa, like, but he is manager and they have absolutely sunk to the absolute.
Yeah, he did exactly as he was told. He followed orders. Operation Sticky Toffee has been a success. I think if it was any other former Liverpool manager or player or whatever, like going to switch into Everton is a big deal. But Benitez is so, like, it's similar to, not a direct comparison, right? Before anybody jumps down my throat, it's similar to Kenny Dalglish in a sense, right? Kenny Dalglish is a god in Liverpool to the people of Liverpool, not just Liverpool Football Club supporters, right? And it's like Benitez does an awful lot of work outside of just football in Liverpool. He loves the city. And the rumor when he went to Everton at the time, and how I think Liverpool fan rationalised it a little bit, was that Benitez, he just wants to live in Liverpool again. Like, that's how much he loves it. He comes back. He used to come back all the time, even when he was managing in other countries. He'd come back for the Hillsborough Memorials every year and stuff. And he's a great man. So I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I think it's funny to think that we sent him in there to fuck up the club on purpose.
Well, that's what every Liverpool fan that's ever going to exist. And he's not even, like, if Everton got relegated this season, Rafa would probably go down even better in the history books.
Oh yeah, like the fact that he went there and it was a complete shit show it makes it so much better that we're like, yeah, you stupid idiots. What you think you were getting?
Why is it a shit show? Well, like, Rafa's manager abilities, like, surely they've got to be better.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, if Carlo Ancelotti and Rafa Benitez can't make something, like, I think the writing was on the wall when Carlo Ancelotti left, like, a season into his long-term project that he was starting at Everton. The owner doesn't have a clue what he's doing. Like, the CFO, CEO, whatever the fuck, he's a complete fraud. Like, their recruitment has been a complete mess. I think if I was Newcastle, I would be looking at Everton as how not to spend money when you come into money. Like, Everton came into money and they started forking out 40 million on Alex Iwobi and shit, like, and it was just, they're not, do you know what I mean? For the amount of money they've spent £500 million on players since the new owner came in over the last, like, 3 or 4 years, and they still have, like, who have they got? There's nobody in that team really, like, that looks like a world, and I think they're all useless, and that's why Rafa came in and started playing the young lads, like, and he was, to be fair to him, he was trying to fix things, but it's just, I don't know who they get at this point. Like, the rumours is they're looking at Wayne Rooney or Frank Lampard at the minute to come in.
I'd love to see Rooney go there, like, and I don't, like, obviously he's done an unbelievable job at Derby.
Yeah.
But he's probably better off staying there and seeing that out, because, like, with Derby, he's at a win-win situation, and that's not been horrible. Like, if they get relegated, like, he's a god. If he stay up, he's, like, immortal. So if I was him, I'd be like, and I know it's unbelievable that the chances of staying up, like, they mightn't even be a club by the end of the season. But, like, I don't know, going to Everton, I would like to see him in the Premier League and that, but that's a dangerous job there. Like, when it's seen off the likes of two experienced managers in the game that have won the Champions Leagues.
I think as well, something that must be in the back of Rooney's mind is that if he leaves Derby, that club is finished. And I don't mean, like, I mean literally that like, Derby might not exist as a football club anymore. Like, and he seems to, whatever it is, right? So the squad is threadbare at Derby, but he's doing miracle work with them at the minute. And if he manages to keep them up with everything that's going on there, then okay, fine. I'd say Everton or whoever would definitely be looking at him, but I don't know. I don't think Rooney will leave Derby now. Maybe at the end of the season, but I don't think he would just...
Well, if I was Rooney, I'd be looking at Lampard, and I'd be like, Lampard was here at Derby, went to Chelsea, and do you know, literally an up-and-coming manager like Lampard, and he was deemed up-and-coming, the next best thing, and it's just shot him, like, and I know he'll get back into management and that, but it shot him, like.
Yeah, exactly. I'd say, the other name on their list was apparently they interviewed, was it Fabio Cannavaro? I mean, that man he's been managing in, like, Saudi Arabia and China and shit, like, so.
But that's the problem there. Like, look at caliber of managers they've had, and like not saying like they're going now, but sure, two Champions League winners didn't do anything, so let's go with nobody. Like it's just like surely there's. Do you know what they need to do? They need to bring in Big Sam. Bring in Big Sam. That's what they need to do, and they need to get to the level that Everton are at and accept the level that they're at. Newcastle are emerging once they get out of this relegation zone. There's no doubt that they're going to merge up into the top. But like Everton need to accept. I think some clubs need to accept, and it's just like if you're in the Premier League, be happy with it.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. There's look at Southampton. They're happy. They accept that they are like a top 15 club at the best, maybe, and they're happy out. Leave them off. They're doing well.
And while we're on the topic of managers, like Watford are fucking awful. Like
Watford have had like what was it I was reading yesterday? It's been Watford have had like was it 4 or 5 managers or something fucking stupid since they last kept a clean sheet or something along those lines.
Yeah,
it's a mad stat. Like this is their 8th manager, their 3rd this season. So like, and like Roy Hodgson, no, just no. He's not going to do anything for them. Like I thought he retired. To be honest, I thought he left.
He stabilised Crystal Palace though. To be fair to him,
I thought
like I think Liverpool was a big fish, like or small pond situation. But like I think he did stabilise Crystal Palace, but he left Palace to retire. Like
that's what I was. Yeah, I thought when they announced him, I thought my brain had made that up. He did retire, didn't he? I know what.
Yeah, he did. Like it. Yeah.
But he's back. He's back at Watford. But he's kind of. Yeah, I guess it was what you were saying about Everton. Like that's who Everton should be looking at, is to get somebody in to just try and fucking sort out, just grind out results to get them through this season, and then they can think about the likes of Rooney and Lampard and stuff. But
yeah,
I don't think anybody
wants foundations for Everton. Like
I don't think anybody wants to touch Everton at the moment, like because they know the manager is not the problem at the club. Like
no,
but it's the managerial sackings are just such a part and parcel of every Premier League season at this stage now. It's just there's always 2 or 3 throughout the season. Like it's nailed on that somebody's going to get sacked. I think Brendan Rodgers is next.
Yeah, sure. The betting itself in the Premier League, like alongside of who's going to win the Premier League, is who's the first manager to get sacked. Like it's actually just become part of football, which is terrible in itself, really. Yeah,
it's weird.
Why you reckon Rodgers on the chop? Do you?
I think it's hard. It's tough to say. I think this is his worst season so far with Leicester. Like they're not doing great. They're on the same points at the minute as Aston Villa, which is interesting because Gerrard used to play for Rodgers. But I don't know. I have as a Liverpool fan, I've never rated him. It's probably mostly because he threw the league away in 13-14 like that. We should have won that the Premier League that season. Like it's crazy that we didn't win it in the end. And he's just always, all he's ever shown is that he gets just about there and then he can't do it. That's Brendan Rodgers as a manager to me. But he thinks, for some reason in his head, he thinks he's fucking Alex Ferguson or Guardiola or somebody. Like he thinks he's an elite manager. And I think if he just accepted that his level is, like getting Leicester into the top 6 should be considered an achievement. I think. Now they might give him a bit more time. They might he'll probably get another season.
He needs to freshen up, no? Like Vardy and like them aging,
Yeah, like he's made a few good signings. Like Leicester have a good team at their core, but I think they might lose a few of them this summer. I think Tielemans is probably gone. Like Vardy, he's just at the end of his career, really, isn't he? Like, but Patson Daka looks like a good signing. Like he's banging in goals for them now at the minute. Like it's the defense really, I think, this season. But the fact they won an FA Cup last year for the first time in the club's history, I think will get him. Like he'll have that in the bank for a while, but it's not looking.
Well, he should be allowed a mediocre season too.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think clubs they're too quick to pull the trigger now.
He should be allowed. Like, what do they expect? Like, he bottled the top 4 2 seasons in a row. I don't know if it's fair to say bottled. Like, to be fair, I think the pandemic locking down all that had a massive effect because they were nailed on. I couldn't imagine if they had kept going to better war. I think losing the fans and stuff kind of helped the likes of United and stuff.
Yeah.
Solskjaer went an amazing run after that. But yeah, like he bottled top 4 2 seasons in a row. Like what is a good season for Leicester now? It has to be like you said, 5th or 6th is amazing. Like, should be top 10 really should be their goal. And I know they won that freak season, but top 10 should be their goal each season. Like, so I don't see if Rodgers finishes 9th or 10th this season, I think you go again, like, you know.
Yeah, I think they probably will. But I do think that the fact that he's gotten them nearly into the Champions League like twice, and then just kind of fell apart towards the end. If I surely the higher ups at Leicester must be thinking about it at this point. They must be looking and kind of going, well, clearly like the team is good enough.
Yeah,
maybe it's him. You never know. But like it's a strange one. And the rumors, of course, is that he's going to replace Guardiola at City. Which, please go ahead, take him. I'd love it. Go to City.
That's a strange one. Like.
Yeah, it's a,
you know, that is a strange one. Like when he's linked to the United job and stuff is when it fell apart. But even with the United job, I was like, I would have taken him at United. He wouldn't have been my first choice, but I think probably was a lot of desperation.
That was a case.
Time.
You would have. United fans would have taken him just because he wasn't Ole at the time. Like it was like, an actual
but
manager.
Now, like,
now I'm like, I just don't think he's that. He's just not that guy. He's not that guy, pal.
Same as Moyes. He's got levels. Like he's got levels.
Yeah. Just fine. He's not a bad manager, but he's not a winner. He's not elite. I don't think. The transfer window is open.
Yeah, Martial has gone on loan to Sevilla.
Yeah, a good move for him.
It's a good move for him. They're second in La Liga, and he'll be playing in an easier league. And he'll be given game time. I'm sure he was promised that if he's going on loan that he'll be starting every match. I think it's a great move for him, and he gets to kind of showcase. But I think he's done at United. Like people are saying, go to Sevilla, bang in 15 goals this season, show what you're capable of. But like he's been at United 8 years. Like it's not like we've signed him 2 seasons and we're waiting for him to hit the ground. Like he had an amazing season. And I've seen a lot of people on Twitter going, it's unfair treatment of him. He's had unfair. There's an element of that, I suppose, when Ibrahimovic came in and they took the number off him, which was just lousy, and I think it was taken off him rather than spoke about. It wasn't like the Cavani Ronaldo situation, which I think was a bit more. I don't know. I think they took it off his back. But anyway, So I don't think so. I think he's done. Like his attitude on the pitch and all hasn't been great for a couple of years, and it's not that I entirely blame him. United's been a circus for the last 2 years, so trying to get stability and trying to get consistency in players it seems to be quite tough, as you can see. But I don't know. I think he needs to move on. 8 years and 1 good season.
8 years, and it's the fact that when he joined, he had a Ballon d'Or clause in his contract. Like that's the level that he was expected to be at. Like I think United signed him thinking, here's our next Cristiano. Like he's going to be the guy to take us on, and he just never really. Yeah, I suppose there is a sense that like the club there's been a lot of managers in and out. But having said that, at the same time, the argument seems to be that he hasn't had the right manager, but he's had 4 or 5 at United now, and if none of them could get like top level football out of him for longer than like a couple of games at a time, he's probably. I think it's at the moment it's a great move for him. It's a great move for United, and it's Sevilla can't lose because it's just a loan till the end of the season at the moment. Like so.
Yeah, and it's for United. It's just go there, bang 15 goals, and try to get us 30 or 40 million for you. That's all it is for United. I don't see him come back unless I don't know who's the manager coming in the summer might want him, but he's been played up top. I just don't think he's not going to be played up top anyway with Ronaldo there, and he doesn't like playing on the left. And his attitude hasn't been good, like. But then it's not just him. Like I think the English media put a lot on. If it was Marcus Rashford was getting loaned out to Sevilla, it'd be a freaking war crime, like.
Yeah, yeah, it would.
So,
the other player then I suppose that's wanting out, Jesse Lingard. We've talked about it a couple of times. I was reading there this week that he was in talks to go to Newcastle on loan, and it fell apart because Newcastle pulled out because it would have whatever way the deal was being structured. First of all, Newcastle were also in for Anthony Martial. They wanted him on loan as well to the end of the season, and United wanted Newcastle to pay a £7 million loan fee, but Sevilla are not paying a loan fee. So this is where it comes into, like, Newcastle, everybody knows they have a shitload of money, and this is what's going to keep happening. The Lingard thing fell apart because apparently it would have ended up costing Newcastle like £1 million a game or something for Jesse Lingard till the end of the season. They wouldn't pay £7 million of a loan fee to get Martial in and also cover his full wage bill and all that kind of crack. Like, I was reading today, they'd apparently agreed a £30 million fee from, forgive me, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his name because I'm not certain of how to pronounce it. He's a Brazilian midfielder who plays for Lyon. 30 million apparently. They said the fee was agreed. Sky Sports said Newcastle have agreed a fee, and then Lyon came out and said, "No, we haven't. We haven't agreed anything with Newcastle." It's kind of like they're just going to keep getting suckered into
100%. Or we accepted 30 million for the bid too quick. We could get 40 out of these lads. What are we doing?
Exactly.
Like they're getting stung. But the Jesse Lingard thing is an absolute joke. Would not let him go. Solskjaer promising game time, which is on Solskjaer. But, like, Christ almighty, United now are trying to play hardball. The thing is they want to get something for Lingard before he goes on free in the summer. I read 15 million or something they wanted loan. It would have worked out 15, like you said, anyway, probably $1 million a game or whatever.
Yeah, it was something like that. That's what it would have ended up costing Newcastle if they took Lingard for the rest of the season.
But, like, Lingard has wasted a year of his career staying at United. Like, surely, like he is not getting any younger, and like a year is a big difference when you're coming on that side of 30. Like,
and what's his contract situation at the minute?
He's out of contract in summer, so he can actually sign a contract now. I think a pre-contract with another club, but like I think I don't know if he wants to get in the England setup, he's going to probably need a team for the next couple of months. So I think United were trying to get him to leave, but he's not going to want to leave because he can get all the money on a free transfer then in the summer. And United want him to go on loan, but nobody's going to pay a loan fee for Jesse Lingard. They're not going to give it to West Ham, who probably would pay a loan fee because West Ham are competing top four against us, and I've actually said that sentence, like, which is fucking horrible to say. And Spurs are in for him as well. Apparently Spurs came in for him and they were like, no, so they're not going to give it to Spurs or West Ham, because unless they come in with like a 30-40 million bid, they might go for something like that ridiculous. But other than that, they're not going to. Like, so I'd say he'd probably go free in the summer, but I don't know, maybe Newcastle will come back in for him. But if they want to stay up, they'll want to look at their books, I suppose. Like, if they do want to stay up, like, they do need, like,
they have to pay the money. Yeah, they're going to have to pay the money for somebody, and they're going to have to do it in the next this week, like, realistically, before the transfer window shuts. They need bodies, they need players in January to help keep them up. So I think they will end up paying over the head for somebody. I mean, they've already paid £20 million for Chris Wood, so they already have been. They've been stung there, like. But the rest of the, like, the transfer, the rumors, like, some of them more than rumors, are fucking flying around the last couple of days. City signed Julian Alvarez from River Plate. Reportedly, the fee is £18 million, and he's going to stay at River Plate on loan until the end of the season, and then join City in the summer. He won the Confederations Cup, like, player of the tournament recently. He's only 21. He, I don't know much about him, to be honest with you. I know that the rumor was that United were in for him as well.
Yeah, no, he's a top player. I've been following his career since about 15 minutes on YouTube after City signed him. I know absolutely nothing about him. I think I might have seen Twitter links with United at one stage, but I don't know anything about him.
He's the only reason I knew his name before today was because I remember seeing a tweet somewhere saying United were looking to buy him, and I remember texting you saying, surely a 20-year-old who plays in Argentina or wherever is not the answer to United's problem. But look, you never know. I mean, it's City.
City are so shrewd, though, ain't they? They're so smart with their money.
Sold.
Like, they'll buy him now. He'll turn out to be a Guerrero.
They've actually, but because they sold. They got 45 million for Ferran Torres, and then chill out 18 on this kid who could. It's a drop in the ocean for City. It's not a big risk for them and this kid, but it looks like he could turn out to be a superstar. We don't know yet. Spurs are in the transfer market as well. Conte is desperate to get lads in. Where did I see earlier? And Ndombele is gone.
Conte is like Conte is like your man now at a nightclub at 3:30 in the morning and is just walking around
Yeah.
wanting somebody to go home with him. Like, because that man, like, have you seen his interviews? Like, he's
Yeah.
just, I'm getting the vibes like he's like, get me to the summer and I'm getting fucking out of here.
He might be a bit, because every week he's like, yeah, even when they win, even after that unbelievable last 2 minutes of Stephen Bergwijn against Spurs the last day. But even after that, I think he was like, yeah, but you can see the squad's not good enough. Like, we haven't got the players. They're not good enough. Like, and he's desperate to get rid of some. I think Ndombele is finally gone. Spurs fans will be delighted because they hate him just because his work rate is just shambolic, apparently. He's gone, I think, to PSG maybe or something. They're in for supposedly Luis Diaz, who he plays in Portugal. He's a young striker. Looks a good talent. Spurs apparently have offered, I think, £20 million for him to sign him now or something. Porto, I think, is who he plays for, and they have said no chance. They want a lot more money. So that's ongoing. The rumor from Luis Diaz's camp is that that Liverpool are also have been monitoring him, and he wants to wait until the summer in the hopes that Liverpool come in with a bid, because he'd rather go to Liverpool than play for Spurs. Which we'll have you, pal. On you come. On your bike, kid. Join the Oval.
And Donny looks set for Crystal Palace.
Yeah, Jesus, God fucking help him. I hope so.
I hope so. I really do. It's actually breaking my... Like, I don't even count him. Like, before I used to be really frustrated and I was like, right, he needs to play. And every time the team sheet come out and he's on the bench, I'd get really irritated. But now I just, like... Not saying I feel like he's not a United player, because I love him. Like, I actually do. Like, and I'd love to see him get game time, because he seems like a good stand-up dude with good attitude. Like, he's sat on the bench for a year and a half, hasn't opened his mouth. But, like, obviously I haven't seen him play to the highest ability. But, yeah, I just hope he gets the move, because even now I don't even count him as a United player. I'm just like, I look at the team sheet and I'm like, he's on the bench. Like, he's not contributing. I hope he gets the move. But apparently United want him they won't sell him because they want him for the start of next season. And I'm like, you haven't played this guy in 2 years. You could have actually ruined his career now, because this is like 2 years building block before you hit your prime. So, like, I don't know what way he'll step out of this. He could absolutely hit the next level, or he might just drop off. But, like, they're talking now that they want him for the start of next season. And it's like, just let the man go. Like, just let him go. You've ruined his career. Like,
apologise to him personally and send him on his way, because it's been a fucking shit show from the start. It's a miserable experience for him. Like, he can't be happy. I cannot believe that he has not, that something somewhere has not come out in the press of him or his agent or somebody being like, yeah, United have fucked this up. Like, it's, it says a lot about him that he hasn't, some sort of fucking leak hasn't come out that he's miserable or like he's unhappy, wants out, or any of that
and
shit.
the levels, like, it'd be different if we were like top of the league, like 6 points clear, like City. You'd be like, sure, look at the team, like, we're doing it, whatever. But we're not. Like, we're having a mediocre season, fighting for top 4 again, and it's like he can't get a game. And I just wonder, like, it's 2 managers now. So Solskjaer didn't like him, obviously. He wanted Grealish that time and he didn't get him. He threw his toys out of pram and he just didn't play Donny. But, like, now Ralph is in Ragnick and he's not playing him. And I'm not questioning, like, Donny. Like, I don't know. I think the next move is going to be a big thing. We'll see. He's either going to drop and he won't, his career's going to die, which would be no help from United, or he's going to go to the next level and it's going to be like, fucking, you fuck that up, United. Yeah. So either way, it's a fuck up, because United paid 40 million for either a player that's not good enough, not scouted enough, or a player that's going to be top level and they're not playing him. So I don't know. Like, what do you think? Is he a bad trainer? What the hell? Like, apparently he's a really good trainer.
I see. It's such a strange one that, like, when it was just Solskjaer who wasn't playing him, you would have said clearly Ollie just, there's something about him. He just doesn't rate him. He doesn't see that he fits into the team. But like, a new manager has come in and it's the same situation. It's hard not to think he must be doing something wrong. Like, he can't be that good and not getting into this team. Like, it can't be a situation with multiple managers where they're sticking with that midfield and they're not even giving him a chance. They're not willing to just throw him in for 5 or 6 games and see how it goes. So it's a really odd one that, like, but then at the same time, if he was that bad, United would sell him.
Yeah, they won't. They won't. I think it's a thing of COVID or whatever. But like the foundations of United haven't really changed either. Like I know Carrick left and McKenna,
Yeah, yeah.
but like you still have Phelan in his ear. You'll still. I don't know what Mike Phelan does at the club. To be honest. I don't know. I honestly don't know what that man does. But like Fletcher's supposed to be like up in the boardroom. That man's been standing on the sideline chatting the ear off Ralph for the last since he came in for the last 6 weeks or 2 months or 3 months, whatever it's been. So I don't know. Donny will tell that if he goes to Palace now, I'll be watching him closely.
Yeah,
He'll be playing
I think Palace
so.
would be a good move for him too. To be fair, they play under Vieira. They play some nice football. I think he'd slot in there. Palace have a few like really good young talents up towards the top end of the pitch, like Etse and Olisa, and them look like they could be good talents. So Conor Gallagher, of course, but he'll go back to Chelsea. Players. Speaking of players who are on loan from Chelsea, I didn't realize Broha at Southampton, who's fucking tearing shit up down at Southampton, is on loan from Chelsea. 20 years old. He's on loan at Southampton from Chelsea, and Southampton want to make the move permanent, and apparently they're preparing a £25 million bid to get him to stay at the club in a permanent deal, which would be a club record fee for Southampton.
Probably contract as well. Next second buyer, Chelsea will have first option or something if it was.
Yeah, it'll be something along those lines. But it's just every you look around the place, Chelsea have like 1,700,000 players out on loan all over the fucking globe. Like it's
they do have to be fair to them. They do have some. They've brought some gems through that youth system, haven't they?
Yeah, they have definitely. I think it's a case of like they have so many young players. One or two of them are bound to come good. Like that seems to be their tactic, is like throw the biggest net possible for young lads.
Throw
like,
enough shit, something will stick. Like
a couple of them will be good. Like, but God, what else is there? There's so much transfer shit happening this week. The two right, okay. So here's the two mad ones. I heard two insane rumors today, and both of these are not like a tabloid newspaper saying, well, this might happen. The first one came from a reputable German football writer who's has a decent reputation in terms of like Christian Falk is his name. He covers Bayern Munich a lot. He has said today that Newcastle are trying to sign Thomas Muller from Bayern Munich. Yeah, there you go. That's and like it's if he said it, there's a reason. Like they at the very least, Muller? He's in his 30s now. Definitely, like so he's towards the end of his career, but he also is like an absolute assist machine. He's probably the smartest footballer on the planet. Like realistically, he's outrageous. Like he just smashes assist records left, right, and center. But Jesus, that'd be a wild transfer. Like Thomas Muller comes.
Well, wild, but like. Yeah, to Newcastle though, like, and in what case, like, what do they pay there? Like, are you literally breaking your wage structure right before you even get anywhere? Like, if you bring him in, you're talking, like, to get him to Newcastle, like, he's not going to be in Bayern Munich going, I've always dreamt of playing for Newcastle. Like, that's 300 grand a week. Like, you're 300 grand a week. They'll have to double his wages what he's on at Bayern, I'd say, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I'd imagine. I mean, he's probably on that at Bayern at the minute, wouldn't he be? He's definitely on like 300 grand a week at Bayern. Surely he's their longest serving player, I think, at the club at the minute.
Yeah. Well, whatever it is, it's going to be absolutely sick money to bring in.
Yeah, definitely. It's that would be an absolutely that's a ridiculous transfer if that happens. If he not alone Newcastle, if he leaves Bayern Munich at all, I think it's a big transfer because he's like Mr. Bayern Munich at this stage. Like he's been there for fucking forever. The other one then, which again, this came from a less reputable source, but Mr. Tancredi Palmieri, who is an Italian football writer and doesn't get things right that often, but he said that Liverpool have contacted the agents and the camp of a Mr. Paulo Dybala to sign him on a free transfer this summer because he's out of contract at Bayern Munich or at Juve. And it's early, but they're monitoring it, and they have been in touch with his agents to see would he be interested and what it would take to get him to come to Liverpool. That's
the agent responded, "Piss off! You don't even pay Salah, the best player in the world, so you won't be able to pay for
exactly
him."
what it was. There's no chance it happens. He doesn't fit the signings Liverpool make at all. Like I just can't see
No.
it. They're not gonna. Dybala would want £400,000 a week to come to Liverpool. He did the very
That's the
least he'd
United
want.
signing. That's the United
That's
signing.
yeah.
Commercial as fuck.
I could see United doing it. Like especially if he
Yeah.
does, if he goes on a free, if he doesn't sign a new contract at Juve, which most signs pointed that he's not going to, I could definitely see him going to United, but I don't see Liverpool going for that. Liverpool are often
United.
he's not like he just doesn't fit the pro. Like as a player, he'd be great, I think, for Liverpool.
Yeah.
But the money and everything else doesn't really fit, to be honest.
Yeah, United, PSG, and Madrid. I'd say the likes of Madrid would be in for him as well with the free.
Yeah,
So,
he'll end up.
I'd say-
He'll probably end up PSG again. To be honest, everybody
Yeah,
ends up there
everyone
now.
does.
And then I suppose the last one, just to touch on it, is Ousmane Dembele at Barcelona has
Seen the havoc he's caused.
Oh.
Like Javi, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
Javi, sorry. I was like, Javi or Iniesta. Javi came out and said, this is a football podcast, by the way. We know a lot.
Yeah, we know who Xavi and yes, sir.
Javi came out and like literally threw him to the fucking, apparently said, doesn't want to, just threw him, said he'd get out by the end of the month, didn't he?
Yeah, so, so it was apparently the board. So Dembele, his contract is coming to an end as well. And he's been more or less injured like 6 times a season since he joined Barca. And he's on big money. And he has gone to them saying, I want a new deal. And they said, okay, grand. And he said, I want a raise. He wants like £350,000 a week or something.
Piss
in
off,
a new
like.
deal. And the Barca board said, no, you're done. You're finished at this club. Leave immediately. Like, as soon as we get an offer, as soon as something comes in, you're gone. You're out of here. And then Xavi put him in the squad for the next game or something. And everyone was like, what's going on there? But he's such a fucking, like...
That's quite cheeky though. Like,
Yeah.
If you've been that injury prone and the club, the crisis, and you come to him and ask for a raise, like, but he won't get that money or anywhere else. Who's gonna sign him and pay him that? Like,
He's not done. He hasn't done a tap at Barcelona. Like,
No.
he has not done a single thing to earn a wage increase, like, or to earn any sort of a. He's barely earned a new contract, I would say. Like, so it's a mad one. But I don't know where that fella ends up. To be honest with you, I can't. If he's that clueless to think he deserves that kind of money, I don't know who he signs for.
yeah, I think he just fits the bill of all the talent and the wrong attitude. Again, like I think it's just another one of them.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, Balotelli, have you seen? He's apparently going to be back in the Italy squad.
I heard this. Yeah, he's been selected for Italy again for. I presume it's for this current international break, is it?
What is going on with this break? This is not an international break, like.
There's some teams are playing. I think.
Is it?
Well, AFCON is still going on, and then I think.
Cavani's out as well. I
South
think Cavani's training
American.
with.
Yeah, the South American teams are playing because I know Fabinho has gone to, and Alisson are gone back to Brazil. I think this week. So, yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like just a weird little. We'll have a wee little break.
Yeah, see the boy Rashford and Lingard out in Dubai. But the AFCON, have you been watching it?
I haven't been like watching every game or anything. I've been kind of following it solely for the fact that Liverpool had 3 players at it. So I've been keeping an eye on Mane and Salah and Keita when he was playing. Oh, he's gone now. Keita's gone home, so they got knocked out. Gabon got knocked out. They lost on penalties to Burkina Faso or something. The main takeaway from AFCON has been like it's fucking madhouse over there. Like first of all, there's like the referee who blew the final whistle on was it the 84 minutes or something, and then the teams were like, "What the fuck?" They all left, and then they brought him back out of the dressing room and played the last few minutes, and then he apparently messed up a red card and stuff in the same game. So it's like,
And didn't he blow it up at 8 and 9 minutes then?
yeah, brought him back
after
out
that?
and he blew it up early again, and I can't remember the team that was playing it, but it was a Cape Verde or one of them was playing. They went mental over it, obviously. It's just madness. But the Mane, like, so Senegal were playing Cape Verde last night, and Mane had an absolutely horrible looking clash of heads with the Cape Verde
Seen that,
goalkeeper. He was out on the pitch, like how they let him play on after that is a disgrace. I genuinely don't understand. Like now, people are saying, "Oh, he was grand." Like he scored a class goal like right after it. Yeah, and then he collapsed on the pitch. Like they had to bring
How
him
is he
off.
now?
Then he's grand now. Apparently, he was in hospital for treatment last night, and the goalkeeper was fine as well. I think the Afcon team put up a picture of the goalie went to see Mane in hospital to see he was all right, and Mane tweeted. I saw Liverpool shared it today that he said he's grand. He said I'm feeling fine. Thanks for the
Oh,
support.
that's good anyway. That was such a nasty fall. That
But
was.
such a horrible looking clash of heads, and it's Mane. He goes in for balls like that. He's just fearless sometimes. He just like, is it fearless or he just does it like I don't know. You could call it clueless as well. Like he
Even
does.
the way he hit the ground after it though, like
He was like a rag doll, man. He was definitely out. Like, and I don't know how. Like, I'd say he's definitely has a concussion after it now. So it's a mad one. I don't know how that was let go on. Egypt are playing the Ivory Coast as we are recording this. I think it's still on. It's still 0-0. So that's Mr. Mo Salah is looking to join Mane in the quarterfinals. So be interesting. Part of me hopes they both lose and they both come home as quick as possible. But it would be cool to see them play each other in like the final or something. That would be fun.
Yeah, considering we have 2 weeks till the FA Cup, like.
Yeah. Oh, Adam's not here. We can talk shit about the FA Cup.
I know, yeah.
Miserable.
On the topic actually of Salah, is the contract going to be sealed up for end of the season, or do you think?
I think so. I don't know. To be honest with you, I'd be heartbroken. I'd actually be really annoyed if it's not done and dusted. But I think everything we're hearing,
Pay him, like, pay your player, like, it's so unfair, like, and this whole thing, like you've said to me in the past, where they don't have the money or whatever. They have the money. They could pay him if they wanted to pay him that. Like, Liverpool are up there commercially. Like how much money do you make a season commercially? Like everyone around has Liverpool jerseys. You know, it's like you ain't fucking West Ham. No disrespect to West Ham.
all the West Ham slander this week. No, like our income and shit is massive, but I think the books released last year we didn't make any profit. Like we lost money last year, and the FSG's big thing is fucking their Moneyball tactics. Like they don't spend massive money or anything. They they do a job and they have a strict way of doing things, and it gets results, so they won't break it. But if you don't break it for Salah, you're a fucking idiot. Like.
And I bet you he's not asking for 500 grand a week. Like, what's he looking for? 350?
I think he's looking for 4.
4?
I think he's on 230 or something, or 220 at the minute. I think he's looking for 350 or 4, something like that, which is a lot of money to pay him. But the way you look at it is, he should get it. Like, is the thing. If he, do you know what I mean? It's just there are other clubs that will give it to him if he wants it. I think that a dream summer for Liverpool for me would be Salah signs a new deal, right? Even if it does end up costing us whatever 80 million over the terms of over the like 4 years of the contract or whatever, fine, give it to him. He signs a new deal. I think one of Firmino or Mane gone because we have to, because they both have starting next season. They're both be in the last year of their contract as well. And I think this summer is realistically our best chance. Like they're not getting new deals. I don't see it happening. One of them should go. I don't want it to happen. I'd hate to see him leave, but I think we sell Mane because I think we can get a lot more money for him than we can for Firmino. And I think Firmino is better.
So you'd sell Mane this summer?
I'd sell Sadio Mane this summer. Yeah, and I'd bring in a direct replacement, and that replacement, I'm not sure who it would be. I'd love to see. It's either Rafinha from Leeds. I think we could get him for 50 or 60 million pounds, and we could easily get that for Sadio Mane. But
do you not think you need to build in squad depth to compete with City rather than be shipping out?
Well, we do, yeah, we do. But I think like this is the only way we bring in new players is if we sell players that we already have, and like Mane will be, he's coming up on 30, and so Firmino is 30 already. They'll both have a year left on their contracts. So it's the last time we're going to get Anton for him because they're not. I don't think they're going to get they're not going to get a deal like a new 4-year contract or anything. And I think we could this summer we could still get big money for Mane. I don't want him to leave. I think it'd be shit, but that's what I think might happen. I think he's gone, and then we bring in Rafinha or like. Actually, I'd love to see us sign. I'd love to see us go for like Martinelli or somebody at Arsenal. I'd love it. They'd never let it happen, but I think it'd be class.
And do you think they'll save the Salah announcement to the summer so it feels like a signing?
Yeah, that's usually what they do. They've done it the last few when like Robertson and Van Dijk and Henderson signed new deals. They left it till like right before a transfer window closes, and then the manager can be like, "Oh, it feels like a new signing." It doesn't really. Like it's bullshit. And the midfield then for Liverpool this summer, I think Milner retires, or he doesn't have to retire, but he just needs to leave, and then Henderson moves into his role in the team, which is kind of like he's still like club captain and he's there as a leader and to talk to players and stuff, but he doesn't play every game. And then if I had one big massive money signing to make, it would be Bellingham. I'd bust a bank for him, and then make the midfield then is Fabinho, Bellingham, and one of like Thiago or Elliott or Jones or somebody along there.
Yeah,
that'd be my dream. That's what I'd do if I was in charge of Liverpool Football Club. That's what I'd be looking at doing this summer. It's not all going to happen, but hopefully some of it happens.
I don't even know where we're going to be this time, like, come summer. It's actually just a mixed bag United at the minute. Like, we're not getting a CDM this January, which is ridiculous because I don't know, top four that win against West Ham, and, like, Ralph has got a divided dressing room and, like, a split team playing together, it seems. Yeah. So, like, he is doing a decent job there. We actually look like we're going to compete for the top four. I still think we need a CDM, and I think it's actually tragic that they haven't got one. And I don't know if they're going to get one. Well, we got less than a week left. I don't think they will get one.
I wouldn't say
but
so.
Like,
I think
gaping hole in the team.
Rangnick seems to be more focused on getting players out than in.
I think that is great though. We need to ship people out. Like unhappy players, they need to get balance in that team. Like it's too big. Like
John McGinn is being rumoured.
That's not a compete with Liverpool and fucking. That's not a compete with Liverpool.
John McGinn player.
Like, yeah, he's squad player at best. Like he's not a bridging between.
Won't get him though.
Who, United?
No.
I don't want him, to be honest. I
think
he wouldn't be on my list.
If he is who they're looking at, Villa are gonna want massive money for John McGinn. Villa fans love that man, and Steven Gerrard is the manager. He's not gonna want to sell anybody to United.
No,
I wouldn't say he'll.
No, he's not.
If it comes down to him, his decision, he won't sell anybody to United.
I want United anyway to do the business in Europe now. Like go do what like City and all are doing. Yeah. Go and buy the 20-25 million that there's no Premier League tax on it, no English tax on it, and just go get players that are quality. Like there's any amount of them in Europe.
Yeah. Three. Well, I think that covers it for this week. Yeah, we got through it.
No talk of absolute Chelsea. So apologies to any Chelsea fans who listened.
Oh well, I throw in a quick one. Chelsea are trying to sign a young centre back from Barcelona called Roja, but Xavi doesn't want to let him leave. There you go. There's your Chelsea rumor. Adam will be back for the next one, hopefully. Who knows? Yeah. No, I'm kidding. He's gone forever. This is it now. We're taking over. Liverpool United only from now on. No, he'll be back. We'll be back to a trio for the next episode. Thanks to anybody that listens. Check us out on YouTube and Spotify for our audio-only listeners. And, of course, drop us a like and a follow and all that kind of crack. And we'll see you guys in the next cartoon.